Good afternoon, this is Lunchtime News. I'm Punshani Edrisingha. As always, let's start off with a look at your headlines. A disciplinary inquiry initiated against the CID officers who failed to appear in the magisterial inquiry on the deaths of Bharata Lakshman and 3 others. Steps taken to inspect foreign drug production plants supplying drugs to Sri Lanka. The United States announces that it will ease some sanctions against Myanmar. Take a look at some headline-making stories now. A disciplinary inquiry has been initiated against the CID officers who failed to appear in the Colombo Magistrates Court yesterday when the magisterial inquiry into the deaths of 4 individuals, including former parliamentarian Bharata Lakshman Premachandra, was taken up. According to police media spokesperson SP Ajit Rohana, the disciplinary inquiry has been launched following an order issued by IGP NK Ilangakon. When court convened yesterday, there was no representative from the CID. Thereby, the hearing was postponed and the officer representing the CID was ordered to appear before court on the 17th of this month. Veteran film director Dr. Lester James Phiri celebrates his 93rd birthday today. President Mahinda Rajapaksa visited Dr. Phiri's residence this morning to wish him for his birthday. President Mahinda Rajapaksa arrived at the veteran director's house this morning. A group of parliamentarians also gathered at the veteran director's residence to wish him on his birthday. Lester James Phiri, who was born on the 5th of April 1919, is a veteran film director, scriptwriter and film producer. He has produced over 28 films including Rekava, Gamperaliya and Nidanaya. The Department of Railways says that it hopes to recommence train services between Colombo and Mathura by the 11th of this month. Sri Lanka Railways Operating Superintendent LAR Ratnayaka stated that efforts were being made to resume train services before the Sinhala and Hindu New Year.
Sri Lanka Railways Operating Superintendent LAR Ratnayaka stated that they hope to operate train services between Colombo and Mathura thrice a day from the 11th of this month. He, however, said that these services still need to be restricted as the renovation work on the railway line is yet to be completed. According to Sri Lanka Railways Operating Superintendent, the railway line, which will be upgraded to a high-speed line, is scheduled to be handed over to the Department of Railways on the 19th of this month.
Former JVP parliamentarian Vasantha Samarasinghe says that the government has burdened the people to an unbearable level and is not doing anything about it. He made this statement during a function held in Chilaw yesterday to create awareness on the Ilmaha Viru Samaruwa.
An unbearable burden has been placed on the people of this country. The traders are unable to engage in their daily business activities. The farmers are unable to sell their harvest at a reasonable price. Laborers do not receive a fair salary with which they can survive.
සියලු දෙනා ජීවත් වෙන්න බැරි තරම් ආර්ථික පීඩනයකට යොමු කරලා ආණ්ඩුව නිසල්මනේ ගමනක් යන සූදානම් වෙනවා ජනතා මත ආර්ථික බරපතල.
The government is preparing to fill the bellies of the public with debt.
The Ministry of Health is to inspect foreign drug production plants supplying drugs to Sri Lanka. Director of the National Cosmetic Devices and Drugs Regulatory Authority, Dr. Hemantha Benragama said a team with expert knowledge on quality control has been already appointed in this regard. Dr. Hemantha Benragama said that instances have been reported from foreign countries where drugs have been manufactured in houses and subsequently sold under a brand label without the involvement of a production company. The director said that 7 drug production plants in India will be inspected during the first stage of this exercise, which is aimed at providing quality drugs to the public. In more local news, 1 individual was killed and 12 others sustained injuries in an accident that took place in the Omante area. Our correspondent stated that the injured have been admitted to the Vavuniya hospital.
The accident had occurred on the Jaffna Kandy A9 road in Omante when a bus plying from Kilnochchi to Vaunia had collided with a tipper and van plying from Vaunia to Kilnochchi last afternoon. Police stated that the driver of the van, who sustained serious injuries in the accident, had died upon admission to the Anuradhapura General Hospital. The deceased has been identified as the resident of the Tiharia area in Kalagedihena. Police stated that 4 individuals who were admitted to hospital have been discharged. Meanwhile, another individual was killed when a car collided with a trishaw in close proximity to the roadblock in the Tanamalvila Udawalawa main road. Police stated that 3 individuals who were injured were admitted to the Tanamalvila hospital, where 1 individual had died. The injured were first transferred to the Hambantota hospital. Officials later took measures to transfer one of the injured to the Karapitiya base hospital. The deceased has been identified as a 35-year-old resident of the Sevanagala area.
The 2012 Aurudu Trade Fair commenced at the Kandy City Centre today. News First is the media sponsor of the event, which will go on until the 11th of this month.
Aurudu Fair 2012 will be held over a period of 7 days. News First will be conducting screen tests at the location from today and will also be carrying out various promotional activities. Meanwhile, Kids First together with News First will conduct a contest to select the Singiti Aurudu Kumara and Kumariya next Saturday. The following day on Sunday, News First will team up with Youth First to select the Aurudu Kumara and Kumariya. Musical shows will also be held every night of the Aurudu Fair 2012.
Today marks the 5th day of the Scout Jamboree, which is being held to coincide with the centenary celebrations of the Sri Lanka Scout movement. All the scouts taking part in this jamboree were divided into 4 camps yesterday. These camps have been named as Kalani, Nilwala, Walave and Mahavali. Both local and foreign scouts taking part in the jamboree performed various cultural activities after lighting the campfire. 6,000 Sri Lankan scouts as well as 700 scouts from 26 nations are taking part in the jamboree. According to our correspondent in Dambulla, Aditya Jayawardena, the scouts are preparing for the international night tonight. Moving on to sports news now. Day 3 of the second and final test match between Sri Lanka and England is currently underway at the P. Sara Oval in Colombo. England resumed day 3 on an overnight score of 154 for the loss of 1 wicket in their first innings. England overnight batsmen Alistair Cook and Jonathan Trott continued to dominate the Lankan bowling attack in the first session on day 3. Trott went on to score his 9th test half-century. It was Tilakaratne Dilshan that finally broke the partnership, with Cook just falling short of a century. He was caught by Mahela Jayawardena for 94 runs. A short while ago, England were 239 runs for the loss of 2 wickets in their first innings.
Teaser, is it going to get there? No, it's just going to pull up. And we'll take the 2. 50 comes up for Jonathan Trott. There's the breakthrough. That's the one they've been waiting for. And it's Dilshan that picks up his 2nd wicket. Jayawardena doesn't.
In another local story now, the Cabinet of Ministers has approved a new law to impose a spot fine of 1,000 rupees as the penalty for not wearing a seat belt. Under the new regulation, it is mandatory for the driver and the passenger travelling on the front seat to wear seat belts. This was revealed to the media by the Acting Minister of Mass Media, Lakshman Yapa Abeyewardena, during the Cabinet media briefing today. According to the Acting Minister, the proposal had been presented to Cabinet by the Minister of Transport, Kumar Welgamer. Lakshman Yapa Abeyewardena also noted that Cabinet had granted approval to amend the Motor Traffic Act of 2009 to accommodate the new spot fine. He added that The Gazette notification in this regard is due to be presented before Parliament for approval. And that was a look at our lunchtime news today. Thank you for joining us. Have a nice day.